Welcome everyone, and welcome back to Adjacent with Jace, the tabletop interview review show for the Adventures in Athoria from the Black Tower Stories. I am, of course, your host, Jace, and with me tonight, the little sprout who's about to spout about our route to meander around slander while remaining candor, playing the stout Gandor, and ready to run. Avoiding fights is his form of fun. Welcome now, Aaron.
Hello.
That was a hard one to write this morning.
That's a tongue twister.
It was hard to decide to go with rhyming with two particular ones, and Aaron, not that easy to rhyme, so I am a little quiet. I will not accept being quiet. Pump up that juice.
That volume juice.
That juicy stuff. I can go louder.
Pump
Let's
the
go.
Jam. Pump it up.
Crank it. Okay, so welcome, Aaron. Thank you for showing up. I did have to almost call you, but that doesn't matter.
I think you did call me.
I called you, but I saw you good on the Zoom, so I did not connect it. So yay. Today we'll be going over Chapter 3 of Adventures in Athoria that happened last Tuesday, which was aptly titled Between a Cockatrice and a Hard Place, for reasons that will be explained later.
Or evidently.
If you watched it, you would know why. It is currently live on our YouTube. It went up at 12 o'clock today. I've been pretty good at keeping that schedule. So go ahead and check that out there. You can comment on that as well. It's still available on our Twitch right now. Please watch this show because we're live, though. Even a lot better for us if you watch this. But let's jump right into it, Aaron. How are you tonight?
I am good. I am full of Wendy's.
Full of Wendy's. Restaurant, right? Okay, yes. First question then. We'll dive into the simple stuff like I like to do, the generic one. How do you think these first couple sessions have gone?
I think they're really good. There's a lot of good role playing and conversation making. Because I know online a lot of campaigns or even adventures are just very beat sticky, but I do enjoy the talking and investigating and even just exploring.
Yeah, we definitely, we got into one fight so far, so it's definitely not a beat sticky campaign.
Yeah, usually like we're third session in, we probably would have had four fights.
3 fights. Well, if you count the fight that Gorbeck has done, he has gotten into a fight every session. Once with a small child and once with gravity. So he is 3 for 3 on fights. He has only won one of them, and that was last session, I would like to think, because gravity beat the crap out of him. But yeah, I agree with you. I've asked this question a few times already, so I think it's been pretty solid so far. There's not a lot of downtime where we're just not knowing what to do. We're kind of going place to place and feeling out our characters still. So Volrid
getting to know everybody.
Volrid is still Volrid, which is a trip. So
it's like doing 3 tabs of acid.
There's some mentioning in the comments that I'll bring that up right now. Really wanted to get in that tower on this last session, but someone told me I shouldn't. I really wanted to go, and All
right, listen. We can go to the tower after.
But what if there's cool shit in the tower now?
The cool shit will stay there, Alex.
What if there's cool shit in the tower and I want it now, though?
It's your cool shit and you want it now.
Yes, JG Wentworth, give me my shit now. I gotta call him on the sending stone. I'll get my money. That thing was totally just screaming to
That-
explore.
Yeah, that
He
was
said
big bait.
abandoned tower, a partially covered hole with vines growing over it. There was metal in it, books. But
A
no.
mysterious covered object.
No, it's the smarty pants say don't
Logic,
go in
logic.
the tower. But we would have went in had the rest of the party been there when we were on our break deciding what we were doing, I think. But they weren't there to help me convince the new people. I think Volred and Gorbeck were still talking in the chat, and they all said we should probably wait. I want that tower. Anyway, let's dive. That was just a little tangent about wanting to go on the tower because I really wanted to do it. I have some stats that are very important about this past campaign. The last session we just did, we did get into a fight. This fight was against 2 cockatrices. Eventually, it was one at first that was devastating. And if you know anything about cockatrices, they make things hard. And since they've got cock in the name, this list of stats is called Phallus Facts because I wanted to. So go off. I have got, just like last time with Ari, there are questions that you can answer to get points that don't matter. So I'm going to say a number, and you're going to tell me over or under the amount of puns that were made, the amount of sex puns that were made during this combat. 18, over or under, for the total amount.
Under. It's got to be under.
Incorrect. There were 20 total sex puns made. There was 20 total.
Yeah, okay.
That were specific. There were other puns that were made, but this was specifically for making sex. Yeah, we were too short of the sacred number, unfortunately. There were some things that were mentioned that could be taken as a sex pun, but I think it was just mainly out of stupidity and just happens to line up. Another one of the Phallus Facts. Who out of Gandor, Gorbeck, Izal, and Volred made the most sex puns?
Volred.
Yes, that is correct. Would you like to take a guess on how many sex puns Volred made?
Out of the 20.
Out of the 20. I'll give you that. Over or under 50%?
Over.
Incorrect. It was actually 9.5 puns. I gave a half one because it was one pun was divided between Ari and Volred, and it was related to the sweet nut juice that the potion tastes like, which interesting. If you watch this session and you go back and watch that fight, just watch the facial expressions. Anytime something is mentioned, people will contort and try to hold back, make it. There could have easily been 30 extra puns thrown out during this one, but you could see everyone holding back, trying to not do anymore.
There was just a mix of like holding back laughter, holding back jokes, and just pure agony.
It was quite a hoot. But yes, Volred almost made up for half of them himself. That is enough for
I'm not very good at this game.
No, you are not. You are technically tied with Eric. Because I didn't ask him anything for points. So we'll go on to some questions now. We'll go to some chat questions that have been pre-made for us. What was your motivation for creating this type of character?
My motivation for Gandor is, honestly, Gandor, I wanted to be a scientist explorer, but like there's a naivety in his idea of the outside world. Backstory wise, I did venture from the south of Ashgar up through to the Titans Causeway into Mordoon. So like I saw stuff along the way, but It was mostly running from it or riding with a caravan that had guards. It's a lot of science and learning and figuring how the world works and why things happen, why they do.
I did make a question that was very similar to the one that was put. What made you choose Artificer in this situation? I know science was the idea, but like, what made you choose Artificer over, say, a wizard?
Artificer, because wizard is. If you've ever watched, it really sucks, but if you've ever watched The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon is a scientist who discovers, but I forget the other guy's name, is an engineer.
Yes.
So I learn it, and I'm the engineer. A wizard is the scientist who discovers.
They're the ones taking the risk of combining the chemicals. You're like, what if we launched at them at a very high speed? Well, that would be a weapon. I like it. Let's continue. On to another question here from the chat. Let's go with, what is something that viewers or other players misunderstand about your character? Because right now, I think we're pretty obvious on the assumption.
So the misunderstanding of running away or hiding is, I am 2 foot nothing. And so far,
so fucking short.
Yeah, I'm a halfling.
You're short for a halfling.
Halfling in the book is 2 foot.
Chat, can you check that one? Mods?
Can we get some chat fact checks? Because I will straight remedy that, because I do not enjoy being 2 foot.
It's like, because gnomes are shorter than halflings, so halflings are shorter than dwarves. But that seems real short.
But no, I'm small, and I'm a scout halfling, so I'm not frail, but it's the idea that I've never been a field person.
So yeah, it's like about 3 feet, so you can go over under.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you're real young, you got room to grow.
No, I'm not young, so I gotta remedy that. Still, I'm gonna be short.
2'6", and
yeah,
over under half of it.
Okay, average about 3 foot tall. But yeah, I'm not a field person. I'm a classroom, nose in a book, controlled environment like person. And not high stress areas normally, but outside, things swinging at you and unforeseen things happening is a lot of anxiety for Gandor, and that's how I'm gonna live my life. High anxiety, high stress.
He takes a Xanax or something for every fight. Like, all right, I need my medication today, guys. I have a lot of heart palpitations. Like, most of your sciencey stuff is done in a controlled environment. Well, no, it's not a controlled environment. This whole life that you're currently living.
This whole archipelago is uncontrolled.
Chaos it rains fire and acid and ice is over and the plants are immune to it. Like, yeah, let's go to a controlled environment. Let's just go to Chaos Islands. It's like
I'm just trying to get to the head researcher in this place.
Part of the journey is getting there. Actually, all the journey is getting there. Part of the test is getting there. Entrance exams. Bitches. We'll go on to one of my questions, assuming we didn't already kind of answer it. Here we go. This was from a comment on one of our Facebook posts by moderator Tater. With a nat 20 dealing massive damage at level 1, will this change Gandor's outlook on combat, or will his courage remain the same? This is coming on the fact that Gandor rolled a natural 20 in combat and did a ton of damage to one of these cockatrices. Cotroses. I don't know.
A tree?
There was a tree.
Oh, yes. I was huddling against it in fear.
You were petrified next to it.
Almost petrified. Almost petrified.
Got stoned. Almost got stoned.
No, because the way I described it is it was blind. So I didn't see what happened. I just shot one out and ran.
It's a lucky ass shot.
Yeah, it was luck. I mean, halflings are lucky.
I have a question that's related to this one, which is odd because it was the question I put up there. Do you imagine your magic casting as actually casting magic, or are you imagining using a tool that simulates a magical effect?
I view it so most spells don't have a material component. Most cantrips. Artificer casting, your spell focus is Tinker's tools, Thieves' tools, or tools you have proficiency in. So it's more using a material to emulate an effect. So Firebolt could be a rock that I brought from the Adamant Spire that, when struck like a flint and steel, emulates a firebolt.
I was just curious that because I guess it was just a situation you just said, I cast Firebolt and run. Like, maybe you were just worried about the run and jump part. You didn't have a chance to expand on what the process is. We'll go for another question from the chat. This was kind of answered, although you didn't really go into it, so we'll go with it. Did you feel like you had to step outside your box to play an artificer?
Yeah, because I'm not a very well-spoken person normally. I use a very limited vocabulary. So being a smarty pants and having that confidence to know that I know what I'm talking about is really big. And I mean, I've played fighters. Every time it's like make a character, it's like fighter.
So next character, definitely a druid, right?
Definitely
a sorcerer.
Maybe, or cleric.
I want to see the progression of complicated magic go up. Let's make your life just harder with each new character. Which does go into questions that's later on here. It's like, do you have a backup character prepared if possible death in the next session?
Divination wizard.
See, we're going with smart wizard person. Let's get more magic into this party. Although, with the hit that Caleb took, are you a little concerned about that small hit die?
No, not really. I put my constitution up pretty high, and artificers get armor, so I'm not worried about getting hit too hard. And we'll see how play progresses to determine which subclass I go.
So is there like a particular stat that I asked Ari this as well, like when you're making a character, like I do not dump constitution, like a refusal. Is there a stat that you always try to, like, let's try to keep my charisma high, let's try to keep my such and such high?
I try to keep my mental stats pretty average. My combat stats, I always try to get the higher, obviously, just because combat is kind of important. But on this one, Gandor's not a very charismatic person, so I dumped charisma. Do not let me talk to anyone, and try to convince them.
Have you met our party? None of us have good charisma.
Yep.
I think our best charisma is the goblin.
Yeah, probably.
That's not a good sign. Can we hire a bard just to hang out with us? Like a lawyer? Come do speaky things for us. Dear God, Gandor is not the face of the party. He will run ahead, though. We'll go on to another question here. What aspect of D&D keeps you playing and why?
The aspect of D&D is the role-playing. Like, the combat's fun, but role-playing is what gets my goat. Like, being able to be a different person.
Become another person.
Yeah, because honestly, like this is a little heavy, but like my confidence in since I've been playing D&D with heavy roleplay has gone up because I can't, like, if I play someone with confidence, I can't be unconfident.
Roll for confidence. Fuck.
Oh fuck, that one.
Well, luckily you're a halfling. Re-roll that shit. Solid answer. We're going to go back into some stats for the combat. This one's not a phallus fact. This is a combat stat. And so, in this combat, there were two natural 20s rolled. Who rolled the natural 20s?
Gandor and one of the cockatrices.
That is correct. First answer on the board. We'll give him 2 points for that one because it doesn't fucking matter. 2 is correct. Who rolled the most damage out of those 2?
Gandor.
That is also correct. Gandor rolled 15 points of damage on a natural 20 firebolt, while the cockatrice only did 8. Although, the cockatrice took down the wizard in one shot. You did not take down the cockatrice in one shot. So,
no, because like
those were some tanky chickens.
Challenge rating.
They're 1/4. I always got to jack up those hit points. Cockatrices are fun to throw at the party. I sent 2 of them against the party in my campaign at level 1. I also sent them against a bunch of other shit too. So I'm not too concerned. Well, I'm a little concerned about the fact that we're going into a cave that's full of death.
Yeah, with a wall of thorns.
Tank chickens. That is correct. This whole campaign, nothing but chickens, guys. We're just fighting chickens. The deadliest game. The raptors have evolved into just different kinds of chickens. Raptors are in D&D. They're the size... A raptor is technically smaller than a cockatrice. I think they're tiny. I think a raptor is a tiny size. I could be correct, but they'd be small or tiny. But they are dangerous little creatures. Let's go on to another stat for this one. There was a natural 1 rolled. I don't remember who did it, nor did I catch it on my watch back through. But I can tell you it wasn't Aaron because he can re-roll ones. I think it was Ari, but I'm not sure. Might have been Fulred. Who knows? If you know who rolled it, let us know, and I'll try to keep track of it, but I won't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was
Ari. Ari. So I did write by Ari, but I wasn't sure when that could have happened. I know that I rolled terrible on checking for rocks again, because I don't know why. It's my one skill.
Stop licking the rocks, Ethal. Stop licking the rocks.
Some of them taste like salt, though.
That's basalt.
This one's got mushroom on it. All right. So, out of the entire combat, who did the most damage?
I think Gandor with the crit. The crit pumped the numbers up.
That is correct. Do you know how much damage you did?
I did 19 points of damage.
Close, but over. Your total was at 18. 18.
Yeah. I was trying to remember what I rolled on the D4. I was trying to remember what I rolled on the D4 for the dagger.
The person who came in second place was Ari with 14 points of damage. Third place was Izal with 12. And fourth was tied between Volred and the Dungeon Master at 11. And then Gorbek and Kalem both did 2.
Yeah, that's some healthy chickens though. Level 1.
A lot of hit points. And we don't know how many overdid it and overkilled it. Ari had 2 kills. Both of them from Ari. So far in the who can kill the most, Ari is leading.
Let's be real here. One of them was a dart.
The lawn darts are dangerous. Don't go throwing those things. But that's enough for the stats for right now. We'll continue on with some of the questions. I have some prepared. Of course, let's see if I've done this one already. Yes, I already did that one. This is a classic. What PC interaction and development are you most looking forward to? I think a lot of people are interested in talking to Volred. I know I am, because he's a trip.
PC interaction and development. I honestly think it's a little conceited, but Gandor's development, I'm sure at some point, like, there will be some courage gained. Um, I'm not sure about Volred. Volred is really just learning what is socially acceptable and what is not. But Gandor is more complex because it's a whole personality change.
Be interesting if you go the entire campaign without ever getting hardcore into a fight. That'll be a very interesting campaign.
Yeah.
Although you've done a lot with a little. I mean, last campaign you played River, the Tabaxi rogue fighter, and fought a Shadow Dream God Dragon with a +1 bow, gloves of missile snaring, and a cape of the mountebank. That was it.
That was it. Didn't need anything else.
You probably could have used something else, but that was...
But it's neither here nor there.
Yeah, Nock, Omlik, and Kelder going through their magic items. Like, oh, let's use this one and this one in conjunction with this one. You're like, I'm going to string my bow this way today. We'll carry it over my left shoulder. Like, yeah, minimalist. But now you're playing a character who can make magic items. So that hopefully won't be an issue this time. If you could get 6 attunement slots if you max it all the way out. So you better be using 6 items at least.
Just like, does this require attunement? Yes, gimme.
Stack it on. Going old school. No attunement. Everything is just put it on the body. Let's see. More questions from me. What's the longest you've gotten to play in a campaign as a player? Like
that would be last campaign.
You were there for what, 1.5 years of it?
I think actually
3.
Closer to 2 years.
But yeah, 2 years. Yeah, it's a long time that we played in that one. Let's hope this one lasts 7 million years before we get to level 5.
Yeah, the heat death of the universe. Got it.
They're all on 6th and 7th edition. We're on 5th still. Playing some Thaco. We'll go on. That was a fairly easy.
That's an old reference.
We don't even play Thaco. Okay, here's the question I wanted to get to. Did you think of the fall damage at all when you ran off that bridge?
No, not at all.
Was it your thought process of like, I'm going to make this jump? No chance I'm going to fail. Or it's like, run.
Oh, I was straight jumping for the tree. I thought I was going to be able to make that.
4. Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. DC and 10 couldn't make it.
All right, listen.
Fortunately, though, because of some weird funky stuff with the fall damage rule, you didn't take any damage. Kind of wanted you to learn a lesson at least. Although if we're going into another combat, I prefer us not to be very low on hit points. I'm fine. I got all of my 16.
I got another spell slot.
Twice as many hit points as a good chunk of the party. 3 times, essentially, if you consider I have resistance. So, as long as they're gonna hit us with like lightning and psychic damage and be fucked. All right, let's go with out of the big 6, which was the stat that we said you always try to keep your physical stats fairly high. Now you're in a soft stat character that might possibly change. So just skip that one. We don't need to see that one. We'll go to a different one.
We don't need that one.
Is there any particular magic items that you're fond of that you've ever played with, and like you kind of want to hope you get something similar, or is there something you've had in the past as a player?
Nothing I've had, but something I want is Staff of the Archmage.
Ah, yes. I am familiar with that. Wonderful weapon. Terrible when it goes off in your face, though.
Yeah.
Not as bad when you have invulnerability cast on you, though. So then you're pretty fine.
But all the spells you can get off with it is very, very utility.
Big fan of Staff. Trying to find one, that's hard.
Yes.
Okay.
Hopefully our DM will be gracious enough.
Hey, we're still level 1. Hope this might be a high magic campaign, we could get a lot of things and have too much shit and not have anything to do with it. So, hopefully, exciting. Let's go on to some questions from the chat because I've been ignoring them for a little bit. Let's go. Oh, this was if your character was a real life celebrity, who would they be?
Real life celebrity.
A halfling smart person.
I mean, the obvious meme is Danny DeVito because he's short.
Danny DeVito.
And the meme of I started blasting.
When are you gonna start doing that?
Yeah, well, I mean, if I go artillerist, then I mean, that's a lot of blasting. No, I think Danny DeVito, because a lot of Danny DeVito's like roles, he's been a bit of a coward character, and he just kind of like scuttles away from harm.
We have a mini me in the chat. I would probably go, if you're gonna go with a small person, probably I think Peter Dinklage. He's fairly smart, can say some kind of snazzy things, but isn't there for a fight. He'll have someone else fight.
But Peter Dinklage didn't dump charisma.
No, but he's smart. He does read books. Physical stats are not his thing. I like to think that his charisma is based off of his sharp wit, which is his intelligence. He sharpens it like a whetstone book. He made the thing, the Game of Thrones thing. Watch the show, all of it.
Yeah.
Except for skip the last season. You don't need that. Yeah, we have Gandor is Holgren, which is a comment about Momo's campaign. Another question here. Oh, what is your history with Izal? That's an interesting question because it's fairly vague from what we've built for it, because I like the ability to just kind of say something about our past and it just be an understanding that, yeah, that's true. Or it's kind of true. There might be something off about it, which allows the other person to kind of retcon and say, I had to carry you up the flight of stairs. Like, you didn't carry me up the shit because you were too weak. I passed out on the bottom and you got stuck under the table when I fell on it. It's kind of a back and forth story.
I think so far we've established that you came with me from the Adamant Spire.
Yeah, I was heading south anyway, looking for just shit to do. I'm looking just to go out there and make a name for yourself kind of adventure. The typical, I want to go out and adventure and do something because I'm bored off my fucking mind, which goes into the backstory for Izal. And I go there, happen to possibly drop the last name, and your weird obsession with Axel being an inventor. It's like, what do you know? It's like, I know some stuff, but yeah. It's like, well, fine. I'll go with you. If you're going to go do stuff and put yourself in danger, that sounds like it could be fun, and I'll make sure you don't fucking die, and we'll go through this thing together. It's kind of the relationship we have, and so I've been keeping your ass mostly safe when you say something with your low charisma, and I say something with my fists to protect you.
Your fists have a +10 to charisma.
This is the strength to intimidation buff right here. I'm proficient in intimidation. I don't have a high charisma, but I'm proficient in it.
Really funny comment in chat. Gandor knows Izal's family history better than she does. Probably.
I majored in history of my family, so probably not. I'm not an idiot. I went to college. As soon as I graduated, I got the fuck out of there. I got a scholarship. It's that family name can get you into certain things. But I don't like the idea of playing a dumb barbarian. Just because I've played dumb characters before, like 8 intelligence, and like, this isn't fun. I mean, it's fun, but at some point, I would like to solve the puzzle, but I'm not allowed to guess a vowel because I have an 8 intelligence.
I'd like to rescind my comment of like what stat I value the most: intelligence. With that, I do not like playing the dumb character.
I had my intelligence at 8 before, and like this was fun for what I did. Unless it's a specific situation, I probably wouldn't put anything lower than a 10 ever again. Which is Izal is a 10 intelligence, which is slightly above. Average is 9, which technically your average villager has a -1 in all their stats because they're 9 across the board, I think. Mm-hmm. So being 10, you are slightly above average. And like, I'm educated. I've gone to school. I went through all the things like I was supposed to. Went through the education system that the dwarves have up in the north. I might not have paid attention during all of it, but the combat history, that was exciting. The field days, go out there, throw some javelins, that was fun. Religious studies was one of those. So
yeah, I would say Gandor got his PhD in artificing.
Yeah, I got like bachelor's. Like I majored in things because you have to put something as your major, but I only got like a bachelor's degree. I got the minimum I needed, and that was it. That's because the parents.
You got your core credits.
Parents make you do that. Like, fine, I'll go to college. Then we'll take a semester off. Where'd you go? I'm in Cancun right now. Sorry, the sending stone's breaking up 25 words. Stop. Throw it in the water. They don't need to call us back. You're like, that was my infusion. Like, oh. Should probably use that again then. I'm not going in the water.
It's probably get some rice for it.
Put the sending stone in rice. That'll work. It's a rock. It's a rock with magic. Let's go down to some more questions here. What is your favorite monster? I know my favorite monster.
Favorite monster. Favorite monster is the bugbear.
Bugbear.
You
are aware that they aren't actually part bug.
Yes. I like the bugbear for the sole purpose that it is a large creature that is stealthy.
It's got that. If it goes as a play character, it's got those long limbs like a sloth.
Yeah. And but as a monster, you can put a bugbear just about anywhere, and like
makes sense
against like a leveled party for the encounter of one. It's a pretty hard fight. A bugbear hits hard, and really, like if they're higher level, put more bug it.
And bugbear's notoriously lazy, so maybe you're fighting one or two. But that whole cave full of them, they're sleeping just a little while. They're going to come in on like the third round of initiative, and then you'll be overran. So you do those attacks in waves. Like you like bugbears are cool. I play a bugbear, Ranger Rick. He's fun. I love the fact their stealthy mechanic when they are so fucking big, especially when mine's orange. Mine's like a bright yellow orange bugbear. Like stealth was always an option. So you just sneak in. I like bugbears are cool. Mine is the bone claw. Favorite chef's kiss. They're creepy. They're failed liches. They serve another creature, so when they die, that creature becomes is like a phylactery for them. They just come back. So until you find whatever that creature is, you just have to constantly deal with them. And like, bone claws are so cool. They got like a 20-foot reach. They can shadow teleport, deal damage when they do it. They look creepy as shit.
Lord. I don't think I've ever fought a bone claw.
They are awesome.
I'll look that up real quick.
Oh, they are. I could put a picture on my OBS to show it, but y'all gotta look up bone claw. I got minis for them too. They're real fun.
Oh, Mordenkainen?
I think they're a CR.
Oh,
12?
lordy.
CR 12, yeah, with long bone claw, like dagger swords.
Shadow jump, deadly reach. Oh man!
Look at the chat. Eric's face. It put a reaction. Was like bone claws are fun, especially when they keep coming back, and they're very good in dark encounters. So yeah, and you can just give them more. Since they're failed liches, you can kind of build them out with spell casting if you want to add more shit to them. Which I had. Mine were coupled with these creatures had an ability that when you're within sight or when you know of a bone claw in the area and you are frightened, you lose the ability to speak. So you lose all verbal components for spells.
Holy crap!
So,
and I'm looking at that rejuve time. That's a short rejuve time.
Yeah, they just come back in a couple days. That'll be good, ready to go. You might.
Oh no!
You might just go to the next day.
It's 1d10 hours, Alex.
You might not. Hours. You might not even get a short rest, a long rest. They'll fucking come. Yeah. They can come right back at you. That's how good they are.
Like if you're chasing something that is a mastered to a bone claw. If that chase is extended, you're going to have to fight that bone claw multiple times.
Mom was a little upset in the chat because I captured and tortured his character with the bone claws.
Oh, no.
Because when they get grappled, they pierce and grapple you. They impale your body. Well, the life cleric in the party used turn undead, so they had to flee. But you had this juicy boy right here in your hands. So you just take him with you. You just teleport away. They found him all like cut up and chained down. It's like, this is good stuff. Love me some bone claws. Anyway, bone claws are my favorite. Bugbears are still cool. It's still the idea of a big stealthy creature. Bone claws are stealthy. They're meant to be in the darkness. So, go on to another question. What magic item are you most looking forward to making it via an infusion?
Via an infusion. Well, I will just have to look up Artificer real quick and find that table.
Boots of Flying? Just gonna throw it out there.
Keep out of danger. Gandor, please. Magic item. On the item I'm most looking forward to making is the Belt of Hill Giant Strength.
21 the strength, I believe.
19.
Hill Giant. That's an ogre.
Oh, 21? Yeah, Belt of Hill Giant Strength.
Because Gauntlets of Ogre Power are 19. Hill Giant Strength is 21.
Yeah.
Yeah. Strong.
Yeah. Like a little 2.5, a little over 2.5 foot halfling. And just, you want to arm wrestle? Yeah.
Take off your... Wait. Take off your clothes first. Wait a second.
Hold up.
I only wrestle naked.
Dang it.
What? Yeah, this is a Olympic Greco style of wrestling. You gotta take all that off. Fuck. He's always like, hell yeah, let's do this. Here's another question for you. Why did Gandor wish to travel to Balathor?
So it's not. It wouldn't be my first choice. But Gandor was issued the research travel operation, and I am to get with a fellow geometer. I think that's how it's pronounced, geometer.
What? Why do you put the wrong emphasis on your words?
The wrong emphasis?
Emphasis.
Oh, that's gonna rile some people up.
An artificer is another one I like to say.
Artificer.
Artificier.
But no, it's not an adventure. I'm going to conduct research in Balathor to analyze the magical phenomena that happen around it.
Phenomena. So when we get there, you'll just bring in that new character, right? Just swap them out. Yeah. So a couple more sessions, we'll get there. No problem.
Yeah.
This is a short run campaign. Short run character. I only play this character out for 3 levels, so let's get this over with as quickly as possible.
I want that subclass.
That's it. Just want to scratch that itch. It's part of your graduation ceremony. You get the subclass. What was your favorite invention Axel created, and why is it bowling?
In Gandor, what's bowling?
The canon is that Axel created bowling as an excuse to get away from his wife, Bowling hadn't been invented yet. He just started saying bowling, and he eventually had to come up with the game for it. It's like, let's just chuck this ball at some sticks and try to knock them down. It's like, well, what if we rolled it? It's like, that means the balls gotta be really smooth. Let's make a smooth ball. Like, fuck, we invented bowling. So bowling was invented.
Gandor probably wouldn't be interested in
sport.
Things like that.
Axel invented a sport.
The balls are heavy. Okay?
That's right.
The balls are heavy. I gotta use the little helper ramp.
I also invented gnome ball. I invented the ogre backpack. It's the troll backpack. For the backpack that needs to defend your things when you're asleep. Does require a spiked plate mail though. It's a little hard to get in a chain, and you gotta have a very docile troll to do it.
And you gotta fall on one.
Yes, very hard. And then just keep them in line for a while. My favorite invention that Axel made, because spoiler, I played Axel. That was my character. He invented firearms. He was the one who invented the firearms. He did not perfect firearms in any way. He invented the process of making a small hand cannon and exploding projectiles forward. They were loud, not accurate, not very durable to begin with, but eventually it's been like
refined.
4,000 years, I believe, since first GC1. So yeah, they've gone through, they're more refined. They're not perfect yet, but they're definitely, we have seen a few guns.
My backstory has me actually interested in guns. That would probably, for the purpose of the question, guns would be my favorite invention that Axel made.
Invented guns. There's a couple other ones. The Fuldar is a ironclad style boat ship, massive. It was based off of a Civil War vessel that I had liked, and I'm like, what if we had this in D&D? So I designed it into D&D. So a Dar is a type of dwarven ship now in the campaign setting. A Fuldar was this massive thing. There was the Kelvin Shortfuse was another character I played who he was an anarchist was the class. It was 3.5, so I'm not sure what the heck that was. All they did was blow shit up. They had explosives, they had gunpowder barrels, and they were a danger to themselves as much as everybody else. He had a alias of Fusi Fahrenheit because you needed an alias with you're blowing shit up. So yeah. So let's go into some more stats. I have a little bit more of these phallus facts to go into. That a few more stats. Gandor made how many puns about sex jokes?
None.
That is correct. Gandor stayed out of that conversation for the most part.
I am the dweeb. I would have gone to church camp and been the goody two shoes. Gandor doesn't drink. He doesn't partake in frivolities. He's very straight laced.
Who had the second most puns? Because we know Volrid had 9.5 out of the 20.
Ari.
That is incorrect. Ari only had 0.5. Ari repeated some jokes, but they do not go counted on as his joke. Ari only did 0.5 sex puns.
Caleb?
The person in second place, I feel like should be obvious, was me. I made 6. There was a bit where I was ahead of Volred when I was going through and counting them, but then Volred just kind of spouted off a few of them around with the nut juice milk. The sweet nut juice was around the time where a lot of them started piling on. The DM made 2. DM made 2 sex puns. 2 that counted. One was kind of iffy if you meant it as a sex pun or if it was just a descriptor of the thing. But it was the health potion one where he described it as like that's kind of iffy. But when Volred and Ari make a joke about it, like they get the credit for it. I did not count any of them from the chat though, because that was the chat. Only for the crappy ones made by the players. Well, you can tell by the facial expressions every once in a while when someone looks off screen checking something and they see a joke somewhere and they'll like facepalm themselves. We have another question in for you, Gandor. I hope you're ready. If you had been petrified for 24 hours but still lived, how would you have handled that situation?
Petrified for 24 hours. I'm not sure how. So, as far as I'm aware, petrified, you turn into an object, so you don't have any sentience about what's going on around you.
Correct.
I would probably deny that I was petrified and had just been knocked unconscious by the cockatrice.
You wake up and your arm's gone. Sorry, we dropped you.
No!
The cockatrice does only petrify for 24 hours, so that is a fun reason to use them in lower levels, is because it gives you the sense of like petrification is kind of a real pain in the ass, but then it's only for 24 hours. There is the downside of now you're a statue and you can't defend yourself and statues can break. So don't drop statues.
Do not drop the statue.
It does pose the question, because one of the stats I had acquired that I found, Gorbek used 2 Bardic Inspirations. One was on Caleb, one was on Volred. Volred did not use his Bardic Inspiration despite missing an attack roll, but Caleb did use one to pass a petrification check while unconscious as he got the shit knocked out of him by the cockatrice. I'm a little curious about the interaction, because had he failed and gotten petrified and was making death saving throws, what would have been the situation? Because now, once you are petrified for 24 hours, you're now an object. You no longer make death saving throws. But also, you can't be healed. So, you're just kind of a statue in limbo, currently dying, but not dying. You're being put in carbonite, essentially, for 24 hours. And you just got to hope that someone's ready to heal you the second you wake up. So, someone's got to be on Caleb watch, if that was the situation. But luckily, he passed the save. Used the Bardic Inspiration, passed the save, and got potioned immediately after. But had he turned to stone, that would have been interesting. Especially if you got turned to stone too. It's like we would not be going to the cave; we'd be heading our ass back.
Yeah, I think in that instance, if Caleb was petrified, Gandor probably would have volunteered to stay behind with Caleb, to be ready to heal him when he came out.
Oh, we would have carried Caleb back to the city. We were not going to continue this fight or continuing anywhere for 24 hours. Like, no, we need a closed environment to handle this situation. We got a few more questions that rattled in here. The last 6 minutes that we try to do this. Who do you have on the Deadpool? Despite yourself, although you can vote for yourself.
I've seen Izal get knocked out a couple times, but then she gets back up again. But with the recklessness of Gorbek is my vote on the Deadpool.
That's true. Gorbek was in the lead for quite a bit. I think Gandor took the lead in this last session just based off of personal decisions to yeet yourself off of a bridge.
I was aiming for the tree.
Cool. You didn't make it, though. And you ran right into another cockatrice. So that's probably what put you up in the lead of it. Another question. Artificers get some healing magic. Do you expect to take on any healing spells? I know the answer to this. He does have Cure Wounds.
I do have Cure Wounds.
He helped Gorbek when he fell off of the roof. And I 7 points of damage.
him straight into the dirt.
Just judo flip him, just way over you. Yeah. That one was already solved. He does have healing spells. It hasn't happened yet, but I believe Gorbek has a healing spell. I don't look at anybody's characters because I refuse to do that this campaign. Because if you're not here, I ain't playing you. Good luck. You can have someone else play you. But yeah, I think so.
You've done that too many times.
I played damn near everybody last campaign, so there's that weird thing. It's like I know what everyone has. I kind of don't want to do that. I want to go through a campaign rather like I don't fucking know what this guy's got. So. So we have healing spells. The problem is we're level 1, and we only have 2 spell slots.
Well, I have 1 now.
So does Gorbek. You both used 1 spell today so far, so you both are at 1 spell. Gorbek did throw a rock, though. So to round off we did go over the total damage. Total damage dealt currently in the party, 14 for Arthur, 18 for Gandor. Volred did 11. Gorbek has 2. Calum has 2. Izal has 12. DM has 11. We will add that to the 2 that the DM already has from the child striking Gorbek. So the DM current total is at 13. So as long as we stay ahead of him, we should be okay.
I think we're good.
We should be okay.
Yes.
For now.
For now.
So with that being said, I don't know we have no more questions have come in, and I think we're pretty set. Are you excited for next session? Because we are going into a cave.
I am excited to fight Tree Man.
I don't want to fight Tree Man at all. I that's me. I'm a coward, but like he's all will do it. But I'm concerned just about everything. I also wanted to investigate that tower ruin, and now
we will investigate the tower.
If there's shit in that tower, my God, like if there's stuff for us, I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna go to your house. I'm gonna strike you down.
I'm not gonna unlock my door.
Let's not invest. You got a window. Those are made of glass.
Man, but no, I. Do you mind if I drop some hypotheses on Tree Man?
Hypotheses?
Hypotheses.
Yeah, I'm thinking a Trent or an awakened tree. What do you think?
I think when he killed the Adak, Setarath dropped a curse on him to slowly turn him into a tree. So I think he's just going to be a tree. Or he's going to be that curse where he's like trapped in a tree and it's like melded with the tree.
I'm thinking statistically it's going to be an awakened tree, and those suckers are dangerous.
I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
I have Firebolt. I
have Axe, so that's about all I got.
We have the anti-tree.
The anti-tree of Axe and Fire. Great.
Yep.
Arthur's just going to punch it. Like it's one of those wooden posts. Solve the problem with violence. That's the best way. But with that being said, we're going to call it quits for tonight. Thank you all for coming to another episode of Adjacent with Jace. We are the review of the previous session. As these sessions go on, we'll delve more into what happens into it, and we'll get to know more characters as they come on. I believe I have scheduled next week will be Gorbek, played by Bevo. If he's available, he'll be on, as I'm trying to do this in a character name alphabetical order, and Gorbek comes after Gandor. So, we'll have our next session on Tuesday at 8 o'clock again, streaming. Come join us, watch that thing live, join the chat, and then we'll be live again on the Thursday on our YouTube. This episode of Adjacent Jace will be going live on YouTube on Saturday around 12 o'clock in the morning. You can watch it over the weekend. And follow us on our socials, our Facebook page, our Twitter account, our YouTube, if you want to be able to check these things out as well. Join our cult. It's not a cult, but...
It's not a cult.
It could
It's
be.
a ring.
Volred's face is always staring at you. Be sure to follow us on our socials, because if we post something, we post more content possibly. If we let you know that there's going to be a change in our schedule, it's important that we can't really do a stream saying that we're not doing a stream. That would be contradictory. So... thank you again, Aaron, for coming. Thank you again, chat, for coming and asking lots of questions. And certainly not asking anything about someone being a little coward, because everyone knows halflings are not cowards, right?
No. Maybe. But a message from me is punt your local gnome.
Punt your local gnome. Do you not like
Punt
gnomes?
your local gnome.
We didn't get into that at all. Anyway, thank you all. Jace here, signing off. Aaron, you can wave at the camera all you want. It doesn't really matter. They're just not going to see it unless I click the transition. Bye, everybody. Join us next Tuesday. We look forward to seeing you there. Peace and deuces.
Walking hand in hand on the ocean floor, down deep we wander. Louder we sing, no there is no cure in this together. I don't wanna tell you that it's not real. Nothing is a fairy tale. Everything about you is so really won't be pretty when it ends. Now how could I leave with your sweet love on me? Yeah, yeah. Something about you always makes it harder. When you got my lipstick on your white shirt collar. See you. Hearts and letters carved into the shore. We'll never grow old.